Welcome back, GED scholars. In this video, we are going to talk about maps and especially maps on the social studies exam. And so we're just going to talk about it. I'm going to share some information that hopefully you will look for when it comes to going online. Please remember, if you use technology wisely, there's a lot of information that can help you study for all of the exams, not just the social studies exam. And we're also going to complete a couple of questions based on two different types of maps that you might see on the social studies exam. So once again, please use technology wisely. So I went ahead and just pulled up Google and I searched GED in maps. And so of course, you will get an AI overview of what you might be seeing when it comes to the social studies exam. There might be maps, you may not have a map. You might get graphs, you might not get graphs, things like that. So just be mindful of it. Please remember that when you are studying in case you see questions like this, in case you're given a map. So that's why it's important to just make sure and study for it in case it does pop up on your exam. So once again, Google AI is just letting me know what you might see and what you want to be mindful of when it comes to maps on this exam. So let's go ahead and jump into a question. We are going to just practice really quickly, folks, because the important thing is that once again, when it comes to any of the exams, you study and you practice. And that's why I tell folks, get yourself a study guide. You know, I'm a big fan of the Kaplan GED study guide. Not only does it have practice exams, but it also has lessons in there for you to learn. And then they'll give you questions to help you work on those skills that you just learned. So what we see here is a map, and this is a map of the US. And if you're like, how did you know it was a map of the US? Because look up right here, folks, in the title, and that's really important that when you are studying a map, you look at everything that it shares with you. Up here, we read in the title, the death penalty in the United States, 2013. So we know this is representing at least for this year. We don't know if it represented any years before it or any years after it. And then we have a legend right here in the middle, and it reads states that had abolished the death penalty as of early 2013. And they're letting us know anything that's colored in gray are states that don't have the death penalty anymore. If you're like, I don't know what the word abolished means, this is why, folks, it's really important that while you are studying, if you come upon a word or a phrase and you don't know what it means, please go ahead and pull up Google and search for the definition. It's really important that you work on your vocabulary, not just for social studies exam, but all of the exams. So if you see that word again on the actual exam, you know exactly what it means. So once again, this is just letting us know if the state is grayed, they do not have the death penalty as of early 2013. Okay, well, if all the gray states don't have the death penalty, that means all of the states that are not grayed out do have the death penalty. Another thing I want to point out with maps, and maps once again are going to have titles. If they have either, they're color coded, or there's, lines here and there, like they're trying to like point out states from different states based on whatever it might be, they will have a legend like this that are going to explain to you, this is what it means when, this state, like I'm doing to Texas, has a whole bunch of lines like this on it. That's what this means. So things like that. So you just want to be mindful of how that legend works with the map that you are looking at. Also, make sure you pay attention that when you see a map of the United States, because Hawaii are a whole bunch of islands to the west is going to be over here to the left of California, because they're islands and because Alaska is connected to Canada up here. So Canada is up here, right? All of this is Canada. And then Alaska is over here. So it's not connected to the continental United States. With most maps, US maps, you will see Alaska represented in the bottom along with Hawaii right next to it. Because once again, Hawaii, you guys, a whole bunch of islands far to the left of California in the Pacific Ocean. And then Alaska, once again, is connected to Canada, which is a country that is north of the United States. And if you're like, well, how did you know that up here is the north? That's where Canada is. Because most maps, not all of them, I've seen a whole bunch lately that don't have them, will have this guide for you right here. And this guide letting you know that the top is north, the bottom is considered the south, and then to the right is the east, and to the left is the west, which would make sense, right? Like this over here is all the east coast, right? And then if we come over here to the left, this over here is all considered the west coast. And then when people talk about the south, we know that the south is going to be right over here. And some folks would even say, we'll throw in Texas too, and I'll throw in Texas with the South. But I will say that over here, Arizona and New Mexico are considered the Southwest. So once again, folks, when it comes to maps, just make sure you understand everything that's going around it, and just make sure you read that title, you locate that legend, and you want to make sure that you understand what you are looking at before you jump into any of the questions. So let's go ahead and read the question. So the question asks, how many states have the death penalty? Okay, well, we know from this legend right up here that any gray states don't have the death penalty. So we could go ahead and count all of those states that aren't grayed out, or we can do some math and make our lives a lot easier. So if you're like, why do I have to do math? It's simple. Don't worry about it. And it'll actually probably take you less time than if you're going to count each one of these states that's not grayed out. So what I mean is, it would take you less time to count how many states are grayed out, which means that they don't have the death penalty. And that's what the question is asking about. And then you subtract that amount from 50 because we have a total of 50 states in the United States. So what we're going to do is we are going to start counting. And the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to line out states when we see that, okay, it's grayed out, which means they don't have the death penalty. And that's what we're doing right now. And I want us to start on the East Coast. Okay, so that's where I am, where I just drew in pink. So I'm going to start counting, right? So we have 1. NH is New Hampshire and it's white, so I'm not going to scratch that out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. DE is white. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Don't forget about Alaska and Hawaii. So we counted 18 states that have abolished or gotten rid of the death penalty. So these are 18, and then we're going to do death penalty, no. But the question is asking how many states have the death penalty. Like I said, we have 50 states in this country. So if I take 50, the total, and I subtract the number of states that don't have the death penalty, I should get my answer. And if you're like, I can't do math, it's too early in the morning for me, this is simple, folks. But if you need to, please pull up your calculator. You will be able to use the calculator on some questions when it comes to the social studies exam. So be mindful of that. But this is simple math, and I would rather us do simple math. So we have 50 minus 18 is 32. So 32 states do have the death penalty. And when I look at my answer choices, do I see 32? Yes, B. That is the correct answer. Notice right below it, we have 18. 18 would have been the number of states that don't have the death penalty. So please remember, when you are taking the exam, even when you're practicing, slow down. Do not be conned and be like, oh, wait, I read, I counted 18 states. That must be the answer because I see it in the multiple choices that I have. I see 18 as an answer choice. It's not the correct answer. We had to do a little bit of math before we got to the actual answer, which once again is 32. The other thing too that I want to make sure I point out to you guys is the fact that while we were counting, I didn't mark out the DE state, and this is Delaware. We're going to talk about states and their abbreviations in a moment, but we had to pay attention really well to notice that Delaware is not grayed out, which means that it does have the death penalty. So just be mindful of that. And if you're like, well, what if I did accidentally count it? Which means that you would have gotten 19 don't have the death penalty. Well, then, folks, I'm hoping that when you did the math and you were like, oh, 50 minus 19, you would have gotten 31. And you would have been like, 31 isn't on my list, but 32 is. What are the chances I miscounted one of these smaller East Coast states? Probably high. And then you would have chosen the correct answer. So let's go ahead and look at another problem. You'll notice that we have the same map as the last question, and we now have a chart. So we have a chart that reads homicide rate per 100,000, population 2010, and then I have a list of 5 highest homicide rate states, column that has states with obviously the lowest homicide rate. So the question reads, people who favor capital punishment usually argue that it prevents serious crimes like homicide. Okay, so people who are for it are saying that it prevents serious crimes like homicide. Got it. Okay, so based on the map and the chart, what is a logical flaw with the argument? So we need to find a flaw. We need to find something that kind of points out the fact that you could not have the death penalty or capital punishment and still have low crime rates. So we wanted to be focusing on these states up here, these states that we see on the right when it comes to the lowest homicide rate. If we can prove that the lowest rate states don't have the death penalty, yet they still have the lowest homicide rate, that's going to be a flaw that we could use against them. So let's go ahead and look at our answer choices and see if we can locate that. So A reads, a life sentence without parole costs taxpayers more than executing an inmate. Did the map or chart talk about life sentence or anything about costs? Nope, we are not going to even talk about that further. Out the window. B, some executed inmates turn out to have been innocent based on newly discovered evidence. Does the map share that information? No. Does the chart share that information? No. Out the window. C reads, 2 of the 5 states with the highest per capita homicide rates have abolished the death penalty. Okay, so even if we were to prove this to be true, that 2 of these 5 states on the left abolish the death penalty, and that's why they're on this list, that would not be a flaw. This C would actually be in support of the argument, because that's what the argument is saying, is that if you had capital punishment, you wouldn't have homicide. Their homicide rates would not be high. Then turning around and saying 2 of these 5 states, the highest homicide rates, abolish their death penalty. Look, now they're on this list, is not a flaw. It is supporting the argument, and that is not what we want. We want the flaw. So for that reason, because C is supporting my argument, C is out the window. So obviously we have D, and D would be our last answer choice because it's not the one that was kicked out the window. But let's look at how D is actually going to be the flaw we need to use against this argument. D reads, 2 of the 5 states with the lowest per capita homicide rates have abolished the death penalty. Yeah, so if you can prove with this chart, with this map, that 2 of the 5 states that are here on this right-hand side have these low rates, right? That's why they're there. And we can say that they abolished the death penalty. That goes against the argument that, hey, you need to have the death penalty, you need to have capital punishment if you want to have low homicide rates. Not true, because as we can see from this chart, as we can see from the map itself, I know immediately, because it's right here, down here, Hawaii abolished the death penalty, yet it's part of the lowest rates, right? We know that Vermont abolished it, and it is the lowest on this lowest rate. So we know that at least 2 of these states with the lowest homicide rate don't have the death penalty, and they're on this list. So because we can use that as saying like, hey, your argument that you need to have the death penalty if you want to not have homicide, it's incorrect, because states that don't have the death penalty have the lowest rates of homicide. So for that reason, because it is a flaw, we can prove it. It is our last answer choice, but once again, you can prove it. D is going to be our answer. Just really quickly, I just want to point out, if you haven't noticed, that in this chart, we are given the names of the states versus the map, which doesn't give us the names, it actually gives us the abbreviation. Now, we were able to take care of this problem without really knowing too much about the state versus the abbreviation, other than the fact that I was able to point out that 2 of the 5 states did have what we needed in order to use D as the flaw, the argument against what we read up here in number 3. I just want you to be mindful of that. So when you are studying, make sure that you study maps that have not only the name of the state, but also the state abbreviation, just in case, folks. If you were to get a problem like this, and you know, all of a sudden are in panic mode because you think that, oh my gosh, I need to be able to tell which state New Mexico is when I look at this map, I need to know the abbreviation. Make sure you're studying off of maps like this. There is a link to this map down in the description box below. Let's go ahead and take a look at another question. And for this question, we are using the map that we see right here on the left. The title of the map reads Ancient China. Down here, we have a legend that lets us know that this grayed out area was the Shang Dynasty. Let's go ahead and see which of the following statements is supported by the information in the map. So A reads, the Yellow River is the only major river in China. So we can see the Yellow River is up here, and then we can see it's obviously here in the middle of the Shang Dynasty as well. We also notice on the map another river, right? The Yangtze River. So obviously A is not true, right? It's not supported by this map. This map is showing us that there are 2 rivers. And so for that reason, A can't be the one that is supported, because it's not. It's not the only major river in China. It shows us 2 major rivers. A is out the window. B reads, the Shang dynasty or ruling family controlled China for almost 1,000 years. So, yes, it's showing us some information about the Shang dynasty. And down here, the legend even tells us that they ruled from 1600 to 1122 BC. Well, B is saying almost 1,000 years. If it was almost 1,000 years, this would read 1600 to 600 BC because it would be 1,000 years of them ruling. And it doesn't read that. So, for that reason, we are going to kick B out the window. C reads, the Yellow River was probably the main trade route between Luoyang and Changchao. So when we come back over here to our map, I see those two cities right here. Here's Luoyang, and then right next to it is Changchao. And notice that these are two towns that are on the Yellow River. Remember, even though we only see the name up here, this river is all of this. It's all connected, right? So we can see, okay, yeah, they probably did trade off of this river. So C is supported with this map. And if you're like, well, we don't know if it's true. Remember, folks, we're just looking for a statement that's supported by information in the map. We're not being asked, is it true? Is it false? Is it an opinion? Is it a fact? We're just asked, what can this map help support? So C, absolutely, it can help support C. But let's read D just to be sure. D reads, the Shang civilization traded more with Korea than with Manchuria. We don't know that, folks. Yes, we see on this map that Korea is right next to it, Manchuria is right next to it as well, but we have no idea based on the map whether they traded more with Korea than with Manchuria. So, for that reason, folks, because the map cannot support it, D is automatically kicked out the window, leaving us with C, which once again is the answer choice that the map can support and back up for us. So hopefully, folks, you have a better understanding of what you might see on the exam when it comes to the social studies exam and maps. So it's important for you to make sure you study and to have a clear understanding, especially like with a US map, and to make sure you know what you're looking at. What are the states that are considered on the west coast of the country versus the east coast of the country? So if you receive a map and questions on it, and this was all that they shared with you, you would be able to notice based off of the state names or maybe even the shapes of the states that is the northeast corner of the United States. So it's really important to just make sure you have an understanding of the layout of different maps, not just the US, but when it comes to the US, definitely make sure you understand the state name and the state abbreviation that goes along with it. And remember, folks, you know what you're doing. Keep your head up. You've got this.